the mountain right
You
in
should
front
see
of
it
it.
because when I first got here, the sun was totally out.
Oh,
And
so it's
everything was just lit up.
Oh, that's too bad. Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't. Yeah. Oh, it's
Yeah, the light can make it
The light
different.
just brought out all the colors.
Right,
all
right.
The different layers of the soil. It was incredible. And like even like this is actually Lebritzky's Peak right there. That,
Oh, that's the
that
Brisky's
thing
Peak.
just lit up like
Wow. Yeah, I could see that.
beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
I had so much fun last night.
Now, did you go with anyone or just by yourself?
Well, Jay Bertino, who's my coach at CrossFit, he actually bartends at the beer garden there.
Okay.
So, and his wife, Mary.
Oh, she's the one who got you in, right? Not got you in, but she's the one who inspired you, wasn't
Yes.
it? Yeah.
Yes. She was the one that kept talking it up, so that's why I kind of like finally got interested and looked into it. So yeah, so she came a little later, and then another one of the members, Jennifer Lopez, she was there. We hung out I hung out mostly with Jennifer. She and I are like,
Yeah.
you know, we're kind of like two peas in a pod sometimes. And so I got there first. I got there way early. Actually, I got there before it even opened.
Yeah.
But a lot of people were already, a lot of the art galleries were already open, so
Yeah.
I had the freedom to walk in and walk out without crowds, and that was nice. And then Jennifer and everybody. Then I bumped into Michael a little like earlier in the morning when it was just getting started, and then everybody started kind of filing in. Before you know it, I had too much to drink, and I was like getting baked in the sun. It's always on my calendar because I love going.
Yeah.
Because it changes every 6 months. New art, new people move in. You know, people move out, new people move in. So you get like there's always something new. And of course, there's some there that have been there for years. And you'll see a lot of the same pieces of theirs. Then you'll see new pieces of theirs too. But it's fun because you're kind of like around a really interesting crowd of people. And that's what I love about it the most. I mean, you don't have any riffraff there or any like families with 15 kids. They're all screaming for McDonald's or something like that. And then in the center of it is a restaurant, Barbara's restaurant, and she owns it. And she's the one that runs the beer garden that they have in the parking lot. And that's where Jason volunteers and bartends there along with a few other folks. They're all great people. All great people. Was a good kid in school, studied, did all his homework, never did school, blah, blah, blah. And you just think that everything in their life just flows naturally, you know, and they got all the answers, and they know exactly where everything is, and kind of like feel secure around them because of that. But then you're with them at some point, and all of a sudden you see like cracks in the wall.
Yeah.
Because I'll never forget that one time I was at the New York Bar and Grill. This was in Silver Lake before they closed it back in the early 90s. And Jeff and I got there a little later. He got there after work because he worked in downtown LA at the point. And I've never seen him drunk in my life. He's not like that. I was shocked. And I just see him holding a drink, and he's just like shaking, and you just knew that he was really intoxicated. He was still drinking, and then he went to get up on a bar stool, and he fell. That drink went flying all over the person next to him, and he almost landed flat on his face. He almost face palmed it into the ground. I just like was just I wanted to just drop to the floor laughing because it was so unlike him.
Yeah.
Because he always has it together. He always has everything perfect, you know, and all of a sudden you see this like huge flaw out in public, just unravel. He never talked about it ever since. Still doesn't talk about it. at first, I thought it was kind of interesting that this popped up on their radar as something to do in California.
Yeah.
Because most of the time people come here, they just do the tourist things like
Right.
Disneyland and the museums and Malibu Beach and the pier. But yet they were headed to Death Valley after this.
Well, I could
trip.
see them going to any of the big
Yeah. They were
marquee
doing the national parks.
national parks like Death Valley, Yosemite, Sequoia, those.
And that's
This
where
is not,
they were going up there as well.
Yeah.
You know, but they were campers too.
Yeah. Well, that I didn't realize at first. So
Yeah.
it all made sense after I realized, their background. So.
I have to say,
Sweet.
yeah.
I liked her. She was fun.
Yeah. You didn't like him?
Well, he was more or less like just letting her take the lead in the conversation.
I have no banking on the computer, and I don't plan to put any banking on the computer. So,
All my banking's done on my phone now.
I'd be afraid to do that.
I transfer thousands of dollars between accounts now.
Oh my
I'm just
God.
totally used to it now. It's just totally natural.
Which
And
other accounts?
And I have all my accounts now are through fingerprint recognition. So, Wells and B of A. So, I need to.
But what are you like transferring thousands of dollars? Are you like stock investment or?
No, for my mortgage payment.
Oh. You just don't have that automatically deducted, or it's too big to automatically deduct?
Well, I haven't decided whether or not I want it automatic.
Yeah.
Yeah, for such a big payment. Yeah, it is hard.
And I paid the price because I forget that I have the payment, and I forget to transfer the money. So I keep overdrawing my B of A account constantly. So that's when I discovered, because I used to just go to the ATM and deposit, but there must be an easier way. So
Yeah.
I looked into doing it, through the apps, the B of A app and the Wells Fargo app, and Wells Fargo showed me how to set up the B of A account so I can transfer money into it. And I started doing that. I tested it and it worked. I was like, damn, I could have been doing this all along. Just do it from my fingertips right before I'm ready to go to bed.
Well, no, the truth of the matter is he does pick up trash. He'll like climb off trail to get a balloon that's stuck in the brushes like quarter mile off the trail.
Well, I'm actually going to go to a pop-up bar, Star Wars pop-up bar that evening
Oh, with Dave?
with Dave and
Yeah.
a couple of my friends from CrossFit.
Yeah. What's the Star Wars pop-up bar?
It's one of
It's
those
where they
bars
dress
that
up in
just-
characters.
You can dress up if you want,
Yeah.
but it's a bar that technically I guess is not legal.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So they show up in places for a short period of time and then they disappear. They pop up somewhere else. At least that's what I thought they weren't legal, but it looks like when I read when I went to their website, I think they do get some type of license.
Yeah.
Because they are serving liquor, and the tickets are purchased through like a third party that charge incredible high service fees. But
Yeah.
it was one of my coaches at CrossFit. Her and her husband are going. She invited me. And she knew that I probably would enjoy it, so she forwarded me this link, and it looks totally up my alley. But
Yeah.
it's different in the way that when you go to these places, you can't stay there the whole time.
Oh, okay.
You can only go in for you're only allowed in like 2 hours.
Yeah, but that's mostly. Would you really ever go longer than that?
Probably not unless it's like a Saturday
Yeah.
night.
Even
it's a
Saturday
club.
night, wouldn't you be going to different places
Yeah.
normally?
So I don't think it's going to be a big deal. But the fact that I was standing underneath an elephant,
Oh, okay.
right underneath the elephant,
Yeah, yeah.
I could just lean against him for a while. I had a lion in front of me that I could pet.
Oh,
I
okay.
had
Yeah,
a
maybe
tiger
not
that I could
Yeah.
The only thing keeping them from attacking me was probably nothing, because
Yeah.
I was that close that if it jumped on me, it could have taken me down.
Yeah.
I mean, they were on a chain, like a leash. Thank you. But still, you only had like one of the trainers there.
Yeah.
I found photo albums of trips that I did with Damon
Oh, wow.
to Laughlin back when my
Yeah.
parents, when my parents had the house, we used to go up there for hanging out at the river and gambling.
Yeah.
Which I've been looking for and I can't find it.
Yeah.
Because I remember clipping it out. That's why I have to be careful about the books I give away because, and I even knew at the fucking time I used to do this. Don't ever put slides or anything inside a book.
Yeah.
And I had a bad habit of doing that, even though I knew it was the not the thing to do. Good thing I didn't give away a lot of books in my time, but I did get rid of some. At one point, I did get rid of a box full of books. I think when I left Damon's place and moved into with my sister, some books disappeared. So one most important negative is in a book somewhere that I cannot find anymore.
Yeah.
I have the original photograph, but that kind of pisses me off. So I think that cartoon was placed inside a book at one point.
You know, I bet you can find it on the internet.
I probably could at this point. And I haven't bothered looking, but I used to keep all these cartoons I used to cut out of the LA Times, the ones that I thought were really funny and clever. And I have an old See's candy box that I would put them all in. Well, I found that box.
Oh, okay.
And I went through all the comics in there. It wasn't included.
Yeah.
But I remember taking that out at some point, and I don't remember why I took it out. But something also I also remember it being pinned at my desk at work.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I would have done that, because that comic really bugged me. Even though I thought it was funny, it bugged me.
Yeah.
And I don't think I would have put it somewhere where I would see it every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyhow, I the negative in that comic, I'm gonna have to declare loss now. It's gone, because I've looked at enough places and I just have to assume that it's gone. That's why all those books that I boxed up, I had to go through each book to make sure there wasn't anything in them. I was so scared that I put something like a feather or a note or a card or a clipping of some sort. So I used even money, if I had some money, and it was all bundled up and I wanted to smooth it out, I would stick it inside a book.
Yeah.
I don't know why I would do that. And I already said it, but my fucking God.
What?
Almost $1 million to live in a box.
Wow. Where do you see $1 million?
845,000, starting at 845,000.
And they're all sold. Or 27 sold. Yeah, oh, I see it now starting. Yeah.
God. And to live off Laurel Canyon down here by the freeway.
Yeah.
This is insane. If that can go for 845,000, how much is my house worth? I mean, I hate going to family stuff now. It's rare. I mean, I've been going to a lot of them only because I have cousins that are dying. People are dying in my family left, right, and center, and I feel like I have to be there for them.
Right.
And ultimately, I do have a good time when I'm there, but it's the whole prep work of getting out there, because usually they're on the east side where I work.
Yeah.
And getting out there on the weekend, it's like a fucking nightmare. It's like this on the freeway all the way there.
Right.
It takes me a 20-minute drive takes me almost an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I can't believe how horrible the traffic is going east on the weekend. There's reasons for everything.
Right.
And you never really get to understand sometimes the reasoning behind a lot. They're classic, artists, but their albums they have so many albums back in the day, because back in the 70s, that's all anyone can buy. So now you see all that vinyl in these record stores, thrift stores.
Like Linda Ronstadt.
Yeah, but that's
Barbra Streisand's Wet album is everywhere. I mean, everybody bought it and then they got rid of it.
But the thing is that that's on CD. It's not even on, on
Well, I'm talking
vinyl.
about all the vinyl that's still out there in the world. People got rid of it, so it went to thrift stores, record stores.
But this is the first time. Have you shaved your head before?
Yeah, all the time.
Because it looks different from a couple days, 2 days ago when I was here.
I just got it cut today.
Okay. So usually you don't see it that.
You don't see it this short.
That fresh.
Fresh from the barber.
It almost looks sanded. How come you just don't do it yourself?
Sometimes I just don't want to do it because you know it's messy. You know, then I have to like, you know, I vacuum after I do it. Then I vacuum the bathroom and pick up all the hairs that fell to the ground, and then I have to clean the sink and and then I have to run outside and kind of like dust my head and get it off my shoulders and everything. I guess I can handle the cough because it really is the pain that I don't want to feel, because that is like. Coughing is one thing, but when you have pain and you know what it's associated with, it kind of just plays tricks on your mind. So.
I mean, when you say the pain, you're just talking about the back and chest pain.
Yeah, the back.
But that doesn't get exasperated when you cough, does it?
Yeah, sometimes it does.
Okay.
It just feels.
Yeah.
It just feels worse.
Yeah.
So. Because Excedrin was. I guess Excedrin has aspirin in it, and they don't want me to take any blood thinning, anything that's blood thinning. So aspirin is now off the plate. So ibuprofen is off the plate. So she just take high dosages of Tylenol to control the pain.
Yeah.
And this head thing right now. Oh my God, it hurts when I touched it.
Don't touch this.
I know, like ow. So, I mean, at this rate, I probably won't get to bed till like midnight or past because I was like so wide awake.
No, that's what I noticed. You have like that energy that I haven't seen.
Thankfully, I mean, another good thing is that even though I feel like the flu's out all gone, but I think one of the hardest things to deal with was when I was coughing blood.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when I called you to come over.
Right,
I was so worried, you know. I was
like,
what the hell's going on here? And I mean, I kind of knew that. Even my doctor said again today, if it's more than like
half a cup,
get yourself into ER and you know, get here as soon as you can and just check yourself in.
Yeah.
Something's wrong. So, but that hasn't been the case. It's just been mostly like, I guess, just a little blood. Because that day you came over. I mean, I think that was like the worst day of coughing blood.
Yeah, I think by the time I got here, you weren't even coughing up blood anymore.
Yeah, I had already coughed it all out, so it all cleared up.
That must have been right around when we talked, because
it was because he said he had told you at that point when I came over that time.
Yeah.
Man, it's just so hard to believe that when I first made these arrangements with you, I had no idea this was in the horizon. It just seems so bizarre that here I am today now dealing with this.
It wasn't that long ago.
I know, it wasn't all that long ago either.
It seems weird. It's just like walking in front of us.
I know. It's like another person on here.
I know. It feels like another person just like watching us, making sure we're not getting too close to it.
I wonder if it's used to getting fed the way it's almost so weird how thin it is. Wow. But you like Porter's. Jeff lives like next door to Porter.
I like the potato balls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the potato balls are good.
What are potato balls from Porta?
They're pure chocolate meat inside the center.
Yeah.
Chocolate cake.
Nobody was eating them, like taking them away. It looks like
Yeah, I didn't have to talk him into coming, but I told him to reserve it back when you first called me. So.
Well, that was one of the reasons why I made sure this was. I kept this date. Well, actually, I didn't keep it clear. I actually told my parents to come over today. And I go, oh, wait a second. No, I can't come over. I'm going to the Getty.
Yeah.
So they came over yesterday.
Okay, cool.
But I see them every week anyhow.
Yeah. So, cool.
All right.
Well, now you know what,
Jeff,
you have
good
a
to see you.
sense
Good to
of
see you.
what they're like.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Like I knew you,
Thanks for lunch. That was so nice.
Oh yeah, Jeff was saying they would bloom now. They were. Yeah.
It's all bloomed.
Yeah.
Oh, what? I know.
By now.
Exactly.
I had to sit down. I got really dizzy. And then I got my stuff together.
pulled it all together. And here I am.
How were the exhibits? What exhibits did you see?
I just went to just the different pavilions.
Oh, okay.
So I just went to all floors.
Oh, that's nice.
I just want to see everything.
Yeah.
But I thought the Egyptian exhibit was
Yeah, you
good.
were into it. I see. I kind of. Whoops! I just
I'm
sprayed.
going to see King Tut this week, or maybe next week.
Oh, okay.
Do you have to get tickets for that?
The LA Science.
Yeah. Or the
It was like really lucky because he turned back to get his iPod because he realized he left it on the roof of his car.
Yeah.
And he just got to the car when the hemorrhage hit. And then
actually, technically, it hit like, you know how there was like that, once you got over the hill, you could see the car.
Right.
So once I got into view of my vehicle, that's when I was coming down that slope, and that's when I felt like, oh God, it's like I felt pressure. I go, well, maybe my hat was on tight. So I took off my baseball cap, and then I just felt it starting to get worse and worse, and each step was just getting worse and worse. And by the time I got to the car, I knew something was wrong.
Well, but you were able to get to the car. It
But I
didn't
got to the
hit.
car.
Yeah, I thought it was like an instant. I didn't realize it was coming on.
You were still on the trail.
Yeah, because I was.
miles.
You said, "Hey, I'm gonna head back."
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were already about close to a mile, would you say, away
A
from
mile and a half in, and then I was probably then at that point 3 miles in.
Oh, you kept. Well, yeah. Why wouldn't
Yeah, and I kept going, and I was like wondering when he would catch up to me. And then at one point, I came up over a thing where you get a big view of Antelope Valley.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I'm going to take a picture of this. So I turned on my phone, and I saw that there were 2 messages.
Oh.
And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to be impulsive and listen to my messages. I'm on the trail. Like, I really thought, don't let it go. And then I was like, oh, fuck it. And then I played them back.
Oh, so you did end up listening.
Yes. And then it was Jeff just saying, you need to come back to the car immediately. Hello, hey Jody. Hey Mary. Great to see you. Hey Joe. I got the camera. Is anybody going to say hello to Amy? Hey Joe. Oh, why? You should be recognized it by now. Here, why don't we drop the stuff off and we'll be out. Hey.
Hi. Is that you? Yes, it is. All the way from Arizona?
Texas.
Texas. Well, I was close. And it's the Porto.
Yes.
Like, I would rather teach, like, either high school or...
Jeremy!
Woo! Look at that. Like,
Here.
Hey, yeah, you're great.
Junior high.
Good to see you.
My kids are a little too much going on there.
Oh, go ahead.
Man. There's my...
Yeah. Oh, hey, Roberta.
Hi, Mike.
How are you doing? It's great seeing you.
It's awesome seeing you.
Yes, it's been ages. And this is your husband?
Yes.
Hi, Sean. Nice to meet you. Hey, wow, your hair looks great. You look like a different person.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I looked
Yes.
dragged out yesterday after
We're actually short 2 desserts, so. Oh, wow. There's Vitaly.
Good stuff.
What did you bring, Vitaly?
Hi.
Hey, I'm doing good.
See you. I wait. This. We need to rearrange all this.
What did you bring? Did Vitaly bring it?
No, I saw from Jeff.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yes.
You asked about that airplane?
Mm-hmm.
It was excellent.
Oh, she was like, I'm so sad she didn't make it because she had so much anticipation, a lot of nervousness.
It was a 10.
Wow, that's great.
It was really a 10.
Everybody else make it? Did Donna and Teresa go? Great. And Karen and the Canoers?
Oh, yeah.
You know, I've been to Russia maybe 3 times since I've seen you, or 4 times.
What's...
I'm doing HIV work there.
Okay.
And so I was training felchers and doctors and nurses. So I was in St. Petersburg, and then I went to Yekaterinburg.
It's wonderful places.
Yeah, well, it was, and then I went to Estonia. Went to Estonia.
saw Mary. Yeah, she's here. I saw Mary.
He's saying goodbye, so I'll come by to talk in a moment. He's saying goodbye, so I'll come by to talk.
That's right, it's been forever.
He's taking off.
God.
Say hello to Vitaly.
I forgot to bring the. What?
And you haven't met his parents before?
No, I don't think so.
Yes, yes. So this is, I don't know if you heard Jeff ever talk about going out to Malibu and friends we've traveled named Tom and Alan. I don't know if he's mentioned. This is the Alan of Tom and Alan.
Okay. You live in
Yeah.
Malibu?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Now, is Jeff going there tomorrow? Or
Yes.
what?
Yes.
There.
Oh, this is who you're going to see. Jeff Springer. Yes.
No, the more the merrier.
Yeah, yeah.
So we have a good group showing up tomorrow.
It's interesting when you look at his parents, you can see both their faces. I mean, equal. It's like you can see it.
Yeah, Jeff has both of us.
Right, you really see it because your face and your face, I so clearly, I mean, it just comes together.
Yes.
Yeah.
There he is, the combo.
Right.
Did you see he was 1 year old right there?
10?
1.
Oh, yeah, he has that on Facebook.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, occasionally he rotates it through.
Throwback Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've done like some hikes with Jeff. Like we did the France to Spain hike, and then we did the France hike.
The one in the Alps.
In the Alps.
Oh, okay.
And then he went to the Big Island with us, so
we've done quite some trips.
quite, and some backpacks, yeah.
And he takes pictures of everybody.
Right.
There's so and so. There's so
And I was looking at my picture. I have a lot of pictures of him.
Yeah.
So,
In some ways, they're a bit of a kindred spirit too. You know.
So. Well,
Hey, Jeff.
Nice to meet you.
Good to see you. Hey.
Well, you're recording the whole world.
Yes, I'm recording. It's just easier. I don't have to carry. I think so. Let me check. Oh my God, it's Michael Fritzen.
Yeah, it's front garden.
Hey, welcome, Michael. Michael, this is Jeff's parents.
Okay, your turn.
This is Terry.
Michael, nice to meet you.
John?
Yeah, and John, and this is his cousin, Sina. Actually, his second cousin.
Second.
Yes. So,
Come on in.
yes.
Yeah, you can set that. This is like the appetizer.
So how have you been doing?
Yeah, it is a second cousin.
Yeah. Well, it must be great for you guys to see Jeff doing so well.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
I went to rest.
Pardon? Are you just
Going 100 miles
No,
an hour.
I'm his mother.
But you just really complimented her.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you. You're my friend for life.
His younger sister.
This
yes.
is his brother.
His brother and dad. Okay.
Yeah, this is parents. This is Barb. She's now living up in Washington, Port Townsend. Jeff visited them a little bit.
So you live in Washington?
Yes, we do.
Jeff has people in Oregon?
Well, she used to live down here,
Everywhere.
but they came in specially for this. But they used to live in L.A.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice to see you.
I used to live in LA too.
Yeah, okay.
You still live in L.A.
LA County.
Yeah, okay.
It was actually interesting when, right before Jeff was born, they were in Watts
Oh, okay.
when the riots were happening. Yeah.
The August riots.
Right, and they were, and it was,
I was 8 months pregnant at
right.
that.
Well, they happened right around his birthday.
A
Yeah.
month before his birthday.
Oh, I thought they happened the end of September.
August. It was August.
Oh, okay.
August riots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah, I bet it was.
Yeah.
Right.
You see all the smoke and you smell the burnt rubber and
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we saw the guards checking everybody.
Yeah.
Crenshaw?
He loves Portos. Do you know how close Jeff is to Portos?
Yes, because we brought Portos actually. There's a lot of potato balls. There's like 30 potato balls.
More potato balls?
Yeah. Oh, this is Jeff's nephew right here.
Hey, Jeff's nephew.
His name's also Jeff. Yeah.
Oh, there's a baby here.
Yeah. So,
maybe 10 minutes ago. Good to see you.
Potato ball.
Wow, that's very
These are huge balls.
Why these shouldn't have been put out.
These are bigger than the ones I remember.
Just put it in your mouth and don't talk.
I don't remember eating so far.
Oh, it's really fun.
I would say my stomach for sweet.
What sauce am I thinking? Is it?
We've known Jeff for like
Yeah, so he's been on a number of the trips.
20
You
years?
know,
How long we know?
not 20, always over. You met in 2005, so 13 years.
13 years. We've
Yeah.
been on many trips with him. He's been to Europe with us many times.
Yeah.
Well, you know him better than I do.
Hiking Europe, hiking Hawaii. Yeah, wonderful. He raised a wonderful son.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He's a good son, yes.
Yeah. Although, but you had it. Although I did bring a razor to shave my head. And my trail name was almost Razor. And I was like, no, I don't like that.
Yeah, I haven't seen you for a long time. Yeah, almost everybody's here. So, did you get a chance to say hello to Chairman?
I did, yeah.
Good.
He was like, I think I was the last person to see him in 2015.
Bad Anna! Bad Anna's here. Yes.
I listened to the whole invitation to try to find out if you were coming.
Oh, because I'm the host. I'm like a co-host.
I didn't know you were a coach. I saw that.
Jeff put me as a co-host, but I haven't really done anything.
About the dog question, I thought either he's just being helpful or he's going to be there.
Yeah, no, I was going to be there. Of course I'll be here. Wow, is that, yeah, look at that. Wow. Did you bring it?
No, it just appeared.
Or Ann, did you bring it? Oh, you brought it, Anna.
Somebody just brought it.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't here
This
10
is a pretty intense tart.
It wasn't here 10 minutes ago.
Oh, okay.
I'm Anna, by the way.
I'm David.
David, nice to meet you. I'm tossing a salad.
Oh, yeah, I can see, yeah.
Oh, there's Glenn. Glenn.
Oh, Glenn.
You need to say goodbye to Grace before she leaves. She's about to take it off.
Rosé.
Oh, Rosé.
Well, you know me in the video, don't you? I occasionally brought it on a hike. So. Yeah.
It would get your adrenaline hike, you know.
Right.
Next to you now.
Oh, there's Jan. When's the last time you saw Jan?
A couple years ago, she had a Christmas party that we
Oh, okay. Yeah. I always thought that they would make the perfect couple.
Married couple.
Yeah. You guys look great together. Yeah. Wait, are you trying to do the stereotype of like? But the thing is all you guys cook. You like gardens.
No, but right now we're talking about hex nuts and rivets and propane tubes, and I'll bet you these guys.
Oh no! If they had RVs, they would. They just don't have RVs.
That's right.
You just missed Grace and.
on the way out.
Oh, good. You guys remember? Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, they told me you helped them pick out their RV.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
It's a little dicey there.
Yeah.
Because I thought, ooh, if this thing goes south, I'm in big trouble.
Yeah. Hey, I forgot your name.
Richard.
That's right. Vitaly was here earlier.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but very early. So, do you guys? He's been on the Wednesday night hike a couple of times.
It's been a while.
But not when you were there.
When I was
Yeah.
there,
Not when he was there. It was different times.
Hi, Mikey.
Hi.
Sorry I was on a very official phone call.
But you guys you missed all of the, as Tom would say, you missed all the lady friends.
Are you guys breakfast?
Lady friends.
How did you get here?
Well,
By the way,
take them in.
I'm going to be extra.
Oh, that's right. You can see over the steering wheel.
do you remember Glenn? You're not going yet, are you?
Hey, Glenn.
Oh, good. This is Karen. Okay, good.
Now it's Karen and Margot?
Karen and Margot's sisters, her girlfriend is Laura, who isn't here.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yeah, baby.
Because he lives in Oregon. So Portland. So he's someone he's someone I did a lot of perfect pace
I
trips
used to live
with.
in San Diego, and I did a lot of
Yeah.
I forget your name already.
You never met him. So
No, but you just
literally.
Oh.
Yeah, Jeremy.
That's the best time to
did
admit
you
it.
say Jeremy? Or
I
no,
don't
you
think
didn't.
I did. I said this is Karen Lovett. Yeah.
That's true.
I've heard your name.
Yes. And this is her
This is
sister.
Jeremy.
And this is her. They're sisters.
Nice to meet you.
too.
They made a really good meal.
And they're really fun. You would really enjoy them. They're really funny and fun.
Wow, you guys look like twins.
Oh, you're taking it. Great seeing you, Charlie. Bye-bye. Good seeing you. Yeah. Have a good night. That's Jeff's niece.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
She saw it when it was a hoarder's nightmare.
It was a hoarder's nightmare. I mean,
Free cycle.
She wanted to step away. I donated
Look who's here!
I was hoping you'd come.
Wow, that's all going. Thank you. Yeah.
I'm licking the cream off my hands.
We should bring that sauce stuff.
Yeah.
I'm preoccupied.
The bison originated from a movie set. They brought
the ones
those
like
bison in
oh,
to
okay.
film the movie. They just never left them there. They just been there since the 1920s.
Yeah. Because Catalina's pretty dramatic too. It's kind of got mountains like this too, right?
Right.
And people like
That
like
Trans
reside
Catalina
on
Trail
there,
is
right? People live there. What's the town? Avalon?
Avalon.
City. It's the only
Yeah.
city there. Then they have the two harbors in the middle where Natalie Wood.
I've never been to.
Yeah.
I've never been to Catalina.
But yeah, this area that Channel Islands that we were allowed to hike on was just amazing, just beautiful.
Like we didn't see anything else.
Huh?
Was it windy?
It was cool, but you know the sun was out.
It was like
It was
this.
like today. It was like,
It was very much like today.
So if you're like out,
Maybe a bit warmer.
You got warmed up, but if you stopped and were in the shade, then it got cool.
Yeah.
But you know, as long as you kept moving, you were fine.
It was a Saturday before Thanksgiving. So.
And what were those those blue jays? What they called them? Something.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Scrub jays. Yeah.
Yeah.
Western scrub jay.
Yeah. So we saw several of those. Oh my gosh, these are beautiful. They're so deep. I mean, it's almost they look fake. They look like a Disney character flying around.
Right.
And you have the guy that was kind of guiding us, and we just kind of hopped on his tour, and he was the one that spotted the scrub jays. He goes, "Look at these. You will never see this probably again." People from all over the world fly to California to jump on this island to see these birds.
Oh my gosh.
And I could see why. They were beautiful. But I like the kid foxes. They're so cute. You just want to hold them and pet them, squeeze them. They're so cute. Well, it's like the Panda Express family. I mean, they started in Rosemead. It's still a family-owned business, and now they're billionaires.
Yeah.
They're now billionaires, and it used to be like just a mom and pop deal. I mean, they had a little restaurant in Pasadena, and then somehow it just, you know, in the late 70s, late 70s, early 80s, it became the place to have Chinese food. And that was back when Chinese food was still kind of exotic in LA, and they made really authentic Chinese food, and it was in a little dumpy little joint, but you had to wait. They didn't take reservations. If you want to have dinner there, you had to wait 2 hours minimum.
Oh, it wasn't fast food.
It wasn't fast food then, no. So it was called, it wasn't called Panda Inn was the first restaurant. Then they decided, well, let's do fast food. So the dad ended up coming up with a plan to do fast food and do a separate business called Panda Express. And the first Panda Express opened up in Glendale, I think. And that took off, and that led to multiple locations all over Southern California. Then they decided to jump out of state. They jumped out of state. Now and the whole goal, like back in the late 90s, was to be all over the country, which they are now, I believe. They're in every state.
I mean, everybody with those kind of dietary needs to me are high maintenance, especially at restaurants.
Oh.
And I just I mean, I'm used to it. You'd think I'd be used to it, but
yeah,
it still kind of irks me. when it becomes like an issue, like where we're gonna eat, and
I guess more so with vegan than just vegetarian.
And then when they start talking about, well, you know, is this cooked on the same stove as that? And
Do you have sunblock, Jeff? Did you put sunblock on, Jeff?
No. Will he put sunblock on? He'll say that yes to get us off, but will he do it? No.
I'll do it later.
No, you won't. What's in the... Is that Huts?
Yeah, it's solar power.
Okay. So you can be on the
I
phone.
need to get my cable. I'll be right back.
They were going to do Lone Pine Lake.
How did they get there?
You can drive.
And that's
in,
like right
there's
before
an
it goes
overflow lot, you can park
behind,
in the
right?
coastal trailhead.
Then you can see Hitchcock and guitar.
Near the
yeah, that was the hard part right there. The rest of it's super easy.
Oh, I'm sure it looks it, but this, yeah, it looks a little...
And that only worked because I had long legs.
Yeah.
I could probably hoist you down.
But is there that much more to see?
No.
Yeah.
Because right where I was, right behind this rock,
Yeah.
was straight down.
Okay.
Like 20 feet. And then there's like a little narrow passage on the side where it looked like they stuck rocks, so it's kind of a sketchy stairway.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I wouldn't trust it. I remember going there a couple of times, and the last time I went there, I had to he had just
Was that...
flu.
We, I re-
Bedridden. He had this shit everywhere. He literally shit all over the house.
Wow.
There was trails of shit everywhere. Like he probably couldn't make it to the bathroom. Was squirting out diarrhea everywhere.
Okay. You know, I've never been around anything like that.
It was horrible, Mike. It
Yeah.
was horrible. And it wasn't just it was everywhere. It was
Yeah.
So I stayed literally like 8 hours just cleaning.
Wow, I didn't even know you did all that.
Yeah, I just kind of I can't leave him like this. So I undressed him. I gave him a sponge bath, got him all cleaned up.
Wow.
And then I washed everything because he didn't have any clean clothes. I washed everything, dried everything. Then I cleaned the house.
Wow.
And then I scrubbed everything, bathroom, the kitchen, the laundry room. I think I stayed till 2 or 3 in the morning. I was there I went there right after work. So I actually had called his doctor as well. I told him I need to, because somehow I knew that there was a doctor involved. So actually I didn't talk to the doctor. I had him call the doctor. I go, you call the doctor right now. You tell him what's going on, and ask him what we need to do.
Yeah.
If there's anything.
And what prompted you to go out there?
Something on Facebook, I think. I can't remember. Something, I don't remember what prompted me, but I knew there was something. Or maybe, I think he asked me. He called me.
Okay.
He did call me. He
Oh,
reached
that's
out
a
to
little, yeah. That's,
needed
I
help.
see.
So, I go, I'll be right there. Somebody asked me for help, I'll be there.
Yeah.
So I'll be there right after work.
That makes more sense, yeah.
So I, the cat litter box hadn't been changed in about a month. And I don't know if there was more human shit or cat shit on the floor. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
It was both. I mean, there was literally puddles, I don't know, of urine. I don't know if it was cat urine or human urine.
How did you clean it up? Like, what did you use to clean it up?
You just have to find towels, soak it all up, and drench, and
Yeah. And did you tell Gloria? Did you tell anyone about that when it happened?
I think I told Gloria. I don't remember. I just, part of me is just. I know I must have told Gloria, but I don't know how much detail I went into.
Yeah. Because this is the first I'm hearing about it.
But I mean, I had to literally start in the bedroom and just work my way out. You know, the bedroom, got that out, cleaned up, piled up all the dirty clothes, started washing everything, then cleaned out all the living space around his bed where he would sit, because that was caked with urine and crap as well. Well, you have to know his condition. He has no control over his bowel movements.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
That's
yeah.
why he wears Depends.
Yeah.
So I guess at one point, and there's Depends that's something else I left out of the whole conversation. So I guess what happened is that he ran out of Depends.
Yeah.
And so all the dirty ones are all splayed out everywhere. Because he must have just ripped them off when they were getting too full. And then at some point, he couldn't leave and buy new ones.
Yeah.
So, and because when he needs to go, he has to go right then and there.
Right.
If he's in the kitchen, he needs to go. If he doesn't get to the bathroom in 2 seconds, it's coming out right there.
Okay. Okay.
So
yeah. That
that's
makes
why
more
you had
sense.
all these
yeah.
shit splatters everywhere.
I
in the
forgot
house.
about that.
It's unbelievable where I found shit. Unbelievable.
And it's funny, that didn't even freak you out or weird you out at all.
No, I just like, okay, I have to get this cleaned up. You just flip. It's like flipping a knob. You have to do it, or you'll never do it.
Right. And what about the smell? Did you have any type of mask?
Just have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Just deal with it. And you know, slowly as you start cleaning, that's part of you gets used to the smell. I hate to say that, but then also, you know, you're taking stuff outside and throwing it away, so you're removing a lot of smell at the same time.
Yeah.
So eventually, it goes away.
Yeah.
And then the more you clean, the more disinfected, the more that the cleanser.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I did leave to get some cleaning products too.
Yeah.
I ran down to the store to get cleaning products, and then came back because he had like either expired or didn't have any or wasn't had the right ones, and then I wanted to make sure I had enough bleach to clean all his underwear.
Yeah.
I mean, some of his underwear you could tell he had been wearing over and over, not washing it.
Yeah.
Or if he was washing it, he wasn't like putting it through the washing machine. He was probably just like putting it under the sink and just letting it drip dry because it was so caked with stains.
Yeah.
So I started bleaching everything and got everything nice and white, and then folded it, dried it, folded. I did everything. I did fucking everything. Did not get a goddamn thank you at the end.
Wow.
Nothing. Not that I didn't want it.
Right.
The fact that I felt like he was in a better position was all I needed.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all. That was
right.
So, I mean, I did call him the next day to make sure he was okay, and he did answer. He sounded more aware.
Yeah.
And I knew he was probably on the mend.
Where is someone who doesn't
These
like
CDs?
Exactly. He has no problem with letting go.
Yeah.
Those CDs, they're at least worth $100 each.
Because they're like
Collectibles.
first
They're out of
releases.
print, and the studios are not printing these ones anymore.
Wow.
And they're the actual CDs.
Wow.
And they don't have scratches, and they're in perfect condition. So,
That's great.
and I've sold a lot of them already. I mean, the CDs alone, I think since late last year, between the CDs, the Blu-rays, and the DVDs, I probably made about 15 grand.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, people don't believe me. I was like,
I believe you.
Yeah.
I believe you.
but I mean, I've never bought anything new in my life. It was either on clearance or yard sale or something of that nature. Like all these CDs, I bought them at used CD stores years ago, before they were even collectibles. And now they're worth, you know, I just put one in here.
Maybe that makes up the difference with.
Oh, this Arthur. This one's $99 online.
Wow.
$99.
Arthur the album.
Yeah,
Who
it's out
is
of print. You can't find it.
Oh, Burt Bacharach.
Oh yeah, the movie.
It's the soundtrack to the movie. Well, I just read an article. The CD physical market is massively on decline, but it's going to turn into a niche market like the vinyl. That they already know.
Yeah.
So all like the new music, like hip hop, rap, all that, it's not coming out in physical format anymore. If it does, it comes out weeks after the first release. So, you know, the youngsters will buy it digital first, stream it, and then a few weeks later, then the record companies will release the physical album or CD. But rock and roll and classical, those are still coming out in the hard format, but they don't sell like the newer stuff or the popular stuff.
Right.
And the hoarding I even stopped. I just came to a halt. I just didn't have time to go through it and start unloading it until, you know, earlier this year. So that's what this whole process has been.
It's cool. It's a nice feeling.
And then I realized I could make money from it. So
That's amazing.
the fact that I made close to 15,000 just on the digital.
Well, that probably
format.
helps with I mean, that probably overcompensates because now that you're on long-term disability, it probably totally.
I'm not complaining. Was there a time where I was complaining?
No. I
I
didn't say you were
I was
complaining.
actually making more. Well, even without that, because I was collecting short-term disability and the insurance I had at work, I was actually making more money being sick than I was working.
Right, but now I know you're.
But now,
but this probably makes
that
it
even added to it. I mean,
Yeah,
all
it makes
this
up
did
the
was
different.
it just built up my bank account. That's
Yeah.
what this did.
This is an incense thing.
Mm-hmm.
I could maybe use that.
Take it.
You sure? It's really nice.
Definitely.
Where'd you
So what
get
are you going to get rid of though?
it? It looks like it's from India.
Well,
Oh, it says made in India.
yeah, all that brass
Thank you.
usually is made in India, but like
And it can double as the kymany.
you know, I probably picked it up at a thrift store, or maybe I could have had that since I was a kid.
Oh, that really?
Yeah, I possibly could have had that since I was a kid.
So wait,
'Cause we used to.
That's a neat thing.
My mom used to collect these,
Oh.
and
Did she burn incense?
and sometimes we would.
Oh wow.
That was one of the few things my mother ever did regularly was burned incense.
Yeah.
And
I like.
so we had
incense.
these around the house.
Yeah.
So we had a collection of them, and my mother used to go to yard sales every weekend, so I used to tag along with her. So we had like a lot of these, and then at some point we just had too many, so we stopped buying them. But I guess I found it in a box someplace, and I put it out here. I didn't want to get rid of it. So,
Yeah, it's nice.
But I mean, I'm willing to get rid of it if I know it's going to someone who will, I know.
A good home.
A good home. I'm about on 30 milligrams of oxycodone right now.
Ooh. Is
So
that a
I'm
lot?
doing really good. I should only be taking 5.
Ah. Is that for pain?
Yeah.
Where's the pain?
In my head,
Ah.
and I have pain in my abdominal area here.
Yeah.
Because they increased
They
the.
increased my cancer medication
Yeah.
by 1 pill, but it's, you know, it's almost at the highest dosage right now, which is what we're trying to achieve, which was the only time where it was the medication was really being successful in knocking out the cancer.
But it was so hard in your body.
But it was so hard on the liver that they had to pull back on it. It wasn't just hard on the liver. I mean, it was painful. Just, you know, I couldn't sleep. I was tearing up, and it was really a challenge just to get through each day. Yeah. And so yeah, I can take the oxycodone, and that will, you know, cut a lot of the pain out. But the lab work was also saying that, you know, that there was a lot of stress going on in my liver, too much stress that I could no longer handle or take the medication at the level I was taking it. So they had to reduce it. And then we found a level where I was able to manage it, but then the results were coming back slow. And so, yes, a lot of the cancer got wiped out, but then it stopped. And then just recently it's come back in the adrenal gland. So you're just the third person that knows that.
Okay.
I haven't told, not even my family.
Wow.
So speaking with my doctor a few days ago, she goes, well, they talked about it at their table meeting with other doctors. And they said, well, let's do two things here. Let's see if we can increase his medication again.
Okay.
And we're gonna, let's take a look at where this cancer is flaring up and see if we can do a targeted radiation treatment just on that one spot.
Because it wasn't.
Where's the adrenal?
I think it's right below the kidney.
Okay.
So, depending where it is in the body, they might be able to hit it with a laser.
Okay.
And that's what I'm going to go in next week to explore. So the doctor's going to look at the PET scan. They're going to see, where it is, talk about it,
But other than the adrenal, there's nothing in your whole body?
So the good news is that it's been wiped out of the lung.
Wow.
Yeah. So when I say wiped out, it's not like it's not there anymore.
It's just not visible.
It's no longer registering. So there's no traces of cancer in the lung where it started, and the big thing, it's not in my lymph nodes anymore.
Wow.
It's not. There's no register of it in the lymph nodes. We are having problems with the tumors in the brain. So
those weren't wiped out.
Those were not wiped out. They were really getting hit hard with the cancer medication when it was at the high dosage.
It reduced.
And it was doing it quick, and then boom, and we had to stop.
Yeah.
Which was sad. So we went in July, and I don't know if you knew this, but I had 2 seizures.
No.
I had 2 brain seizures in June.
Yeah, it was actually more mid-June because it was shortly after I got back from Scotland. I knew about the one. What was the second one?
It was back to back. It was the same.
Oh, the same night. The same night. Okay, I think of that as one incident, but okay,
So it was actually,
yeah.
The doctor said it was 2 separate incidents.
Okay.
Just 2 hours apart.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Were you aware of it happening?
Let me go to the bathroom, but he can tell you.
Well, he called me and basically said he can't make out words. He can't read at all. Looks alien. That's the seizure he's talking about. That's the seizure. So you do know about it.
Yeah. But
So,
I didn't know it was a seizure.
Yeah.
I thought it was due to the medication that he couldn't make out words.
No, it wasn't the medication. It was due to the impact of the tumor, and potentially, and he can clarify it, could have been the swelling caused by the tumor. Because that was the big problem that they looked in, and that's why he got put on the steroids, because there was so much swelling in his brain.
So one evening I couldn't make out words.
Like on paper or verbally?
I couldn't make them out on words. I couldn't read a word.
Paper, because he could converse normally with me.
I couldn't read, basically. So even if I saw my own name, I couldn't read it.
But he could recognize individual letters. He had no problem telling me which letter it was.
I could speak like... No, I wasn't scared at all.
Wow.
I was just like, well, that's weird. Well, actually, what happened, it probably happened earlier, but I ignored it because I didn't want to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
That something might be going on.
Yeah. A new problem.
Yeah, exactly. So, so after like a half hour or so, I realized that I wasn't able to read anything. So then I called Mike. I go, Mike, am I speaking normal?
That's a good question. That's when you know you're a good friend, when you can call and ask that.
So I don't know how long we're on the phone, but eventually he did look it up. What was it that you found?
Aphasia, yeah.
And so I guess one of the symptoms is not being able to read, and I guess one of the causes is a seizure.
Okay.
So
I like Dr. Frost.
I was just looking at the internet, which he couldn't do.
Yeah.
But wait, I have a question. Was the tumor that triggered it, or was it the inflammation from the tumor that triggered it, or you don't know?
It was the inflammation.
Okay.
So what happened was that, then everything normalized. Like, I think while I was on the phone with you.
Right, it went away a while
everything
ago.
just normalized after, like, boom.
Wow.
So then I thought, okay, I'm not going to worry too much about it. So I hung up with Mike at some point, and then
Like, no big deal. I couldn't read for
well, actually, what I did is I ended up calling my doctor. It was late at night, so I knew I wouldn't reach them. So I just left her a message. Actually,
Yeah.
I left the nurse a message. And then about, I don't know, 2 hours later, it happened again. And this time it only lasted like 15, 20 minutes, and then it normalized.
But the fact that
But you had a
got
big
that
headache, though.
But then what happened was, like, when it normalized, I got this searing headache, just like boom. Like, and that's kind of the only time where I started getting a little bit worried.
Yeah. Plus,
But I
what were you
popped-
doing up in the middle of the night?
Well, wasn't that late. Well, I actually was still having insomnia at that whole point. So there was
From
like
the
days where I wasn't even sleeping. So
That'll drive you nuts right there.
So I ended up taking some oxycodone and try to, and that kind of helped get rid of it. And I was sleepy. I was getting really sleepy, and I wanted to get sleep.
Yeah.
Because that's right. Because I hadn't slept for a day and a half at that point. So it was more important.
Which is
for me, it was
interesting. I
more
didn't-
like I wanted to get some sleep at
Yeah.
this point.
Yeah.
So I took oxycodone, and I thought, okay, I had a doctor's appointment in the morning anyways, so
Yeah.
I knew I would be at the
good.
hospital. But
But
it was
not
for
for-
dermatology.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
a dermatologist appointment. So I go, well, if my doctor calls me and tells me what to do, then I'll just do whatever she tells me. But I still need to get up, and I still need to go to the doctor's for the dermatologist appointment, and then I'll take it from there. So in the morning, I got a call from my nurse, and she goes, "We want you to go to the ER." Yeah. So I go, well, I have an appointment with my dermatologist. She goes,
Do
okay.
not pass go. Go
She
right
goes,
to
okay.
the
She goes, well, I'll just go in there and I'll go to the ER right after. She goes, okay, that's fine.
Wow.
So I get to the ER, and they already knew I was coming in, and so they already had a bed and room for me. So the doctors were on top of me right away, and I went in for a scan or MRI or something, and just based on all the information I was able to provide them, they said, yeah, you had a seizure.
Wow.
They already knew I had a seizure.
What exactly is a seizure in a brain?
So what happened in my case was that what was determined was that I had 6 tumors. Now, one of these tumors now is being taken out of the whole map system because they think it's no longer a tumor. The 6th thing that I have,
Yeah.
they think it's
It's a
just
growth,
something
benign
growth that I probably had it there all along.
Yeah.
It's not doing anything. It's not malignant. It's not it's not growing or shrinking. So they think it's something that just I've had all my life, probably, maybe. So there's 4 tumors they know of that are increasing, decreasing. Then there's this one tumor that went rogue. So
Okay.
at the time we did not know that it wasn't responding to the alectinib, which is the cancer medication I'm taking. So it started growing. And
That's very strange to have one tumor.
Yeah.
Because if it's one kind of cancer, there's no responsibility.
Although
I think it was because of the size. 'Cause
Yeah.
It had always been larger of the tumors.
Okay.
And it was questionable whether the medication would work even before he started taking it.
Okay.
They say it may because it can develop a membrane or something like that.
This actually had already developed a membrane around it. So it already had not kind of matured
It was
to the point where it was protecting. It was protecting itself. So,
Bastard.
So it is.
So it pressed against your nerve.
Well, what happened, the inflammation around the tumor itself, it caused inflammation around the area. It was massive. I saw the x-rays. I mean, it looked like it was like 1/4 of my brain was just being surrounded by this inflammation. Well, it pressed against the area of vision. the part of the brain that I guess controls the vision, and that's why I had problems with reading.
Okay.
So.
And he makes a good question. Like, is a seizure like a freezing of the brain? What is a seizure?
Yeah, what actually is it biologically?
We're gonna have to look it up.
Yeah.
A brain seizure, like epileptics. You know, what exactly is happening?
That I know. I remember learning about epilepsy. That's like a communication. It starts sending signals back and forth and start getting extremely out of balance.
And the seizure,
and there's a lot of
seizing
activity.
Part is your actual muscles that seize.
That's a good point. But well, I don't know if seizure actually means it seizes up. You know, we'll have to look at
I mean, I mean, whatever the case. So I had 2 of them.
Oh Lord.
And
what's
but
up?
everything normalized automatically. I mean, so what happened was, in order to control the inflammation, they had to put me on this steroid, and the steroid has been like a nightmare ever since.
And that's what caused the weight gain, right?
Yeah. So, and I didn't
sleeplessness.
realize that. I mean, because I was actually, I just in passing, like when I would talk to a couple of people, just telling them by experience, she goes, oh, you know, they like, yeah, we know about the steroids.
The doctors
Oh,
didn't
that's a
tell
nightmare.
you you're going to have all these side effects?
And they did. He told me before. He's like, I'm going to gain a lot of weight.
And you also had sleeplessness from the steroid, right?
Well, sleepiness came even before the steroid.
Right, but it became much more
But it got-
intense.
Because I remember
became
Mike telling
a
me
lot
like
more
he
intense.
can't sleep and he's
Yeah, no, it got a
just
lot more worse.
miserable, especially in
I've
the heat.
had periods where I didn't sleep for 3 days. And I was wide
And
awake.
that could make everything so nightmarish,
Wide
especially
awake.
and in the heat, you know.
And it was in the middle of summer, and then my friend Sasha was in town. And,
Oh, he was. Well, tell
and
about.
I wasn't quite sure. I mean, you know.
Well, this is Jeff. This is Jeff. You have to understand. It's like he won't. It's like the time we did San Gorgonio, and it's like, oh, I'm out of water, but I'm not going to ask anyone. He brought a liter of water for it, and then we go. He's way ahead. He didn't feel like waiting for people at the creek. Gets down at 4. The rest of us don't get down till 7. It's another hour before we go out to eat, and then he gets his first drink of water. So I mean, he has this kind of macho quality of powering through.
The thing is like I didn't really
He has the body
have.
that can take it. You know?
I didn't have like all the information either. I mean, my doctor never told me, you know, that I had to do this, and that. You know, here with Sasha, the month of July, you know, I'm trying to like, you know, be around for him and socialize. I mean, I knew that I was having difficulties in the sun with the heat.
Yeah.
I knew already that I was going to have problems with sleeping. I was, you know, I was weak.
Yeah.
So I knew some of these things just because they were happening,
and
but
the cancer medication was still coming at you.
huh?
You were still getting doses of cancer medication too.
I started taking the medication in March.
Yeah, so you still had that. That
So,
makes you weak.
and I haven't stopped taking it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. Other than does it really have the side effects of making you weak or tired, or just the impact on your liver? The cancer man. It's not chemo. It's
not
different.
chemo.
It's not chemo.
This is the experimental.
This is a genetic.
Yeah.
It's a genetic drug.
What it
It's not
does
chemo
is
drug.
it's something that can adhere to blocking the proteins in the cancer cells so they can't duplicate or reproduce. So that's how it knocks out the cells. So it's not just something that goes in and is toxic to your whole system, especially cancer cells. No, this is a medication that actually
it goes directly after
to
the
the tumor.
mutation.
Yeah. So that's what's
It's designed to go directly after this.
It's been
But
forever
it's
an ALK mutation. It's a rare mutation within this type of cancer.
Oh.
And they have this drug that can target it.
Wow.
So, but you know, like all medications, like all kinds of most medications, and especially cancer medications, there's side effects.
Yes.
And this particular, you know, this
And
one
they don't
has-
even know all the side effects of this one because it's
They're
new.
different from people to people too. You know.
Yeah.
like you tell them about. So your friend Jay's aunt, or who was taking it? Jay's aunt.
It's interesting because Jay's aunt's taking. She's taking the full dose. She's 85 years old,
Wow.
and she's having no side effects.
So it didn't affect her liver.
That's amazing.
And
Yeah.
here I am, I got my health, well,
You're strong
before
as
all
a horse.
this,
You're like the
I'm
strongest
supposedly as
person.
strong as a horse. I do
Yeah.
CrossFit, I
Yeah.
climb mountains,
Yeah.
and I could lift barbells and throw them over my head, but yet my liver can't handle this.
Yeah.
So
It's genetic and you have no control over it.
that's what it boils down to.
Well, your body has really stood up to incredible assaults so far.
Well, I'm starting to break out right here.
Mhm.
So I'm having acne breakouts on the side, and I won't show you because it looks horrible.
What's that from?
It's just a side effect of the medication.
Not
One of the
the
medications
steroids.
is doing it. I don't know which one.
Yeah.
That's the thing, you don't know what you're
Right. It could be many.
God, I wonder
So,
what causes
or
that.
it could be a combination.
Yeah.
Right, that they don't know about.
So, but it doesn't itch. It just nothing really except
Good.
they're just there.
Yeah.
I find that they go away quicker is when I shower more, when I keep it clean.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So the job, because I was only taking a shower every other day,
Yeah.
and so I'm gonna do it every day now and keep the area dry and clean and see if I can knock it all out completely. Because this I don't have it,
Yeah, it's weird.
so it's really bizarre.
Very strange.
So yeah, that's so.
And then they want you to address the weight gain through diet, but then again, it's not really diet that's causing the weight gain.
Well, they say I can't stop it, but they do want me to control my eating, so they want to make sure that I'm not eating anything that's processed and bad for you and
Right.
junk food, because I was I was eating a lot of junk food from March all the way through a month ago, before it really started to impact me, the weight gain. So, but even after the weight gain, I actually started gaining more weight after I stopped eating the junk food.
Right, because sometimes
Phase now again with this steroid is I think it's going to be a little bit easier.
Oh, good.
I know the lay of the land better.
Okay,
And
yeah.
now I can control it more.
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
actually really control it. I mean,
Yeah.
there's still I can't stop some of the physical
Yeah.
side effects.
What about the
Like
weight gain or stuff like that?
Well, that's another piece of the whole thing. Is like now
Yeah.
that I know that there's a weight gain aspect to this. That's why I don't want. That's why I don't have any toasted.
Right. Yeah.
That's why I
that
didn't
makes
have
sense.
bread. I
Yeah.
kept my ketchup to a minimum. I mean, that has sugar in it. I shouldn't.
Yeah.
I should have just bypassed the ketchup.
Right,
I could have
right.
just did the sour cream and that's it.
Yeah.
But even the sour cream, I should have just
Right.
avoided
Well, at
as
least you're aware.
So
yeah, I was gonna
and
say.
those things though. Now that I eat them in smaller quantities, and I'm eating smaller quantities throughout the day. You only have to throw them in the microwave for like a minute, if that, and the meat is just so tender, it just falls off the bone.
Yeah.
And then they have their own unique barbecue sauce on there. And so, because barbecue sauce is all sugar, I do the dipping thing. I do the Glenn Choa dipping thing just to get the flavor, But oh my God, it's so delicious. So yeah, I noticed that if I could control those things that cause inflammation.
So,
but mostly it's just like I want to get the weight down to a more healthier place, because I'm already considered obese, considering how quickly I gained the last 40 pounds.
Yeah.
So the goal is to try to eliminate as much of that as possible.
Yeah.
And then try to get exercise back into the picture.
Right.
When I'm ready for it. I'm taking way too much medication. And each medication is causing a different side effect.
I know, I think that's probably the hardest part.
That is the hardest part. I mean, I just took, while you went off, I took 3 different types of medication when you walked away. And then I took 3 more this morning when I got up. That's 6 different medications I took within a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Luckily, when I go home tonight's dosage is just going to be half of that. But I even figured that out now. It's not hitting. It's not impacting me as much
much.
That's good.
The last time I was in there, I had like the worst date. It was the last date I ever went on. It wasn't even really a date. It was like
That's
a
so
meetup.
funny. You went on a date.
It wasn't really a date. It was a meetup. It was more like somebody I met. It was more of a casual get to know each other meet. So it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It was through. It was either through scruff or grinder, but it wasn't a hookup. It went bad right away. He actually left me.
Wow.
Yeah, he walked away. He was the one that terminated the meeting.
Why? You never know.
I was just getting really testy too. I mean, it was.
Yeah.
You know, I was the one that instigated it. The negative part of the meetup. So I kind of forced it into a bad position.
Yeah.
And it was at the point where I didn't care anyway. So.
Right.
And it was just a matter of minutes before one of us was going to leave anyway.
Yeah.
It was already. It went south after that really quick.
Yeah. What made it so bad? Were you guys
I don't even remember.
And like,
No, I think we were both very attractive people.
Yeah.
But we were just coming from two different places.
Yeah.
And you know, I started nitpicking on his current lifestyle in some way.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was. It was I was started like pick apart something, and then I started critiquing it in a negative way.
Which is something that you normally don't do. Yeah,
exactly.
That's a Tom thing.
And I was breaking it down.
Yeah.
I was almost like painting it as, this is defective. I didn't use that word, but
right. But I
was starting to criticize it as I saw it, how I felt, and I created a really toxic situation at that point. So I went to the bathroom and I came back, and I'm thinking I should just say let's call it quits. But then he got up right away, went to the bathroom. But then when he came back, he says, he goes, I'm ready to go. Okay.
Yeah.
And and when I look back on it, I realized I wanted it to end. That was something, I kind of set the pace for it. I wanted out.
Yeah. That's so funny. I feel like, that's so weird you went on this kind of preliminary.
This was years ago. This was the last time. This was years ago. You know what triggered it? Because I hate when people are late. That's like one of my pet peeves, especially if it's someone that you don't know yet.
Yeah. How late was he?
And he was late. He was a few minutes late.
Just a few minutes?
Yeah, I mean, if you show up on a date, you have to be there 15, 20 minutes before. That's common courtesy on a date.
Yeah.
You've already said, if you're on time, you're late.
Oh, God, all these rules.
So, I always get there 15, 20 minutes late on the first date. It's just automatic. That's just what you do.
Yeah.
And then after that, you can gauge it. If it goes on the second date, if it's really exciting, then you're going to be there early no matter what because you're excited.
Yeah.
And then that dictates everything else, But, but I could easily, overlook that too.
Yeah.
But, if there was like a connection, that could have been long gone.
Right.
In 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But there wasn't a connection, and it just was kind of slowly starting to deteriorate. And then I started throwing the wrench and all the weapons at it and stabbing it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was the last time.
That's funny.
And that's actually, I decided, I'm not going to date anymore. I'm done. I mean, I've never been a dating
one. Yeah.
I never was a person that liked dating anyways. It just, to me, I always found it a really weird ritual.
Yeah.
It just seemed really bizarre. And I knew, too, that, a date is whatever you want to make it to.
Yeah.
So I knew that, you can structure it any way you like. So even so, it still seemed too bizarre for me to say, hey, let's go on a date. I mean, all my relationships, most of them just began. We just met at a bar and said hello and what are you doing next week? I'll be here next week. Okay, I'll show up. And then you meet them again at the same place, and then
you know, and then one thing leads to another, and then you're hanging out on the weekends, and I would have to say all my relationships, the guys that I've had relationships with, never started as dates.
Yeah.
Now that I think of it, one relationship came from a date, but I was a party to a date, and he was a party to a date, and we ended up meeting each other through someone else's date. That's basically what it was.
Right.
I met somebody through someone else's date. That turned out to be a nightmare too.
Yeah.
The relationship did. Yeah, he was the one that attempted suicide.
I never heard that part.
Yeah, I never really talked about it.
Yeah. Was this after you guys were going out or during that period?
I was breaking up with them, and then that was his way of trying to get my attention and get me back into the picture, and you know, and we were still living together at the time as well. We weren't living. I had just moved out that night that he did this. And then his parents got involved, and the authorities were there. I was being interviewed by police.
Oh, this does vaguely familiar, but I don't think I had that. I didn't know that was that person.
Yeah.
Because I did hear this.
I just thought, you know what? I can't be around this person. Because all his friends were just like him. There were all these people that were like on the verge of slicing their wrist and, you know, calling it a day, and I'm done with this world. This is a mad, mad world. I don't want any part of it. I'm depressed. I'm angry, and I don't want to take care of myself.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be around those people.
Right. Yeah.
And it was just, you know, I had enough of it, and walked out the door, and then he did that, and it only made me piss because it was just like over-the-counter sleeping pills he took.
Right.
He took a whole bottle. I almost literally threw the bottle back at him when I realized what he did.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you really want to commit suicide, jump in front of a fucking car.
Do something worthy.
Yeah. I learned to turn that volume down.
No, I know. I mean, that's always the big thing that I've admired in you.
And because I wanted to see what was going on here.
Yeah.
The only way to see what's really going on is just to turn off your noise.
Yeah.
And once you do that, and you can see where all the pieces are and where everything is going, then you know you can make better decisions. At first glance, I'm like,
yeah. I'll go up in a moment.
Yes. No, it's a nice design too.
It is.
But I'm okay leaving. I'm okay going to cheap apartments. Anything to save money. So. You know.
But wait, so if anything,
like where?
Oh, Michael has an apartment in Beverly Hills that he can rent us for $1,800. It's 1 bedroom.
How much is this?
$7,500.
how much is the 1 bedroom?
First is $1,800.
Wow, that's only $600.
But this is furnished.